Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. We are in the middle of fertilizing our fields. I've got number 33 done. We're working on 10 right now. I should be able to finish both 10 and 33 with the tank load that I have here, but I have 3,000 more. I'm not leaving yet, Stargate. Yeah, you guys are the Twitchers. You can stay. We do half-an-hour episodes on YouTube, so that's what I was doing there for those of you that are new. So, you guys like that, Twitchers? Yeah, we're going to stay on. We'll be on tonight until, for those of you watching on Twitch, I'll be on tonight until about maybe 9 or about 5 after 9. So we'll be on for a little bit. So, good starter map. Yes, sir. Yep. Well, we just switched, Benson. We switched last week to South Mountain Creamery, so... Nope, Thundercat, you're in like Flynn. So once again, I'll be on for another hour and a half on Twitch, so don't fret. We will be here bringing you entertainment and fun. South Cross Station, Daggerwind did a series on it. Okay, thank you, Taylor. That would be another one for a Big Bud style tractor. I know they use those over there. I don't think they use the actual Big Bud brand, but they do have tractors just like Big Bud, built on the same style frame. Look at the size of this field, man. It's like, I think in about 4 passes we'll be done though, so it shouldn't be too long since this thing is so freaking huge. The Chosen Gear GT, welcome aboard. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, so anyway, if you're looking once again for a used guitar, Ibanez is good. Squire is okay. It depends. Some Squires are terrible, some are great. But Fender's good. I mean, if you can find like a cheap Strat or something, you might actually be better off starting with an electric guitar because they're easier to play than acoustic. Let's see. You may consider a normal electric guitar, then an electric acoustic at some point. Well, acoustic guitars, there really is no... I mean... People call them acoustic electrics, but to be honest with you, they're not really acoustic elect. They're just acoustic guitars. The reason they have a pickup in them, so they say acoustic electric. But oh, that's cool, Thundercat. Yeah, I haven't played that in a while. I actually miss it a little bit, but I've just been so busy I can't. So the BSM trailer dolly, mount the tank to the dolly, put it in the field tractor. Oh, okay. Or I just could use the dolly it came with. I mean, I don't have to use the truck, but it's kind of fun to use the truck. I just wanted to try it out and see what it would do. But we can use it on the dolly that it came with, too. It works just fine. But I might just use it on the truck because it's kind of funny. So anyway, yeah, they call it acoustic electric, but it's really just an acoustic guitar. So, sorry, Gator. Yeah, so it's not an acoustic... How do I explain this? There are some guitars that are specifically quote-unquote acoustic electric. I would consider like an Ovation an acoustic electric guitar. They sound terrible unless they're plugged in. They're not really meant to be acoustic guitars. They're meant to be plugged in. So in that case, you do have an actual acoustic electric. But in general, most acoustic electrics are just acoustic guitars with an electric plug-in. They give you a pickup and a little like volume control. I like Taylor's... expression system for an acoustic guitar because it's very non-invasive. There's just 3 small knobs up at the top by the headstock. You can't really see any of the pickup equipment. There's no cutaway in the side of the guitar for the pickup stuff. It seems like a more natural way to get a plug-in, and they sound great. One of the guys at church has one of the newer Taylor expressions. It's like the Expression System 2 or whatever in his guitar, and it sounds phenomenal. It's a good sounding guitar to begin with, but it sounds really good. So, well, okay. An acoustic guitar is an acoustic guitar. It doesn't have to be plugged into play. That's what I'm saying. The electric plug is to plug it into an amplifier so that you can amplify what you're playing. Or, like, okay, so if you're a rock star or you're a worship leader or, you know, a country music star and you're going around the country and you're playing shows and you're doing gigs, you want to get an acoustic guitar that has a plug-in in it. And, you know, once again, Taylor is probably the best out there for Even on their cheap end of stuff, they have really good sounding guitars with the plug-in. But there's other options out there too. You can get like like an Alvarez or an Ibanez for like $200 or $300 that has a plug-in. But if you're a professional, you're not going to be using those anyway. Anyway, if you're going to be touring and playing in a band and you need amplification, then you would get an acoustic electric, one with a plug-in. Otherwise, for an acoustic guitar, you don't need any kind of electricity. But the plug-in is just to get you through an amp. You could add effects to it, or yeah, I mean, an acoustic guitar probably wouldn't annoy your parents if you're good at playing it. The electric part of it just gives you that option to no, don't do it, big tall man. You can do it. No, don't do it. Don't sell your. Hang on a second, Gator. I'll tell you more in a second. You don't need to restart. Just keep trucking, because you'll make that money up very quickly. Just keep trucking. I had a $500,000 loan out in that game, and don't worry. Just keep trucking. You'll make the money up pretty quick as your guy goes up, and you can start driving longer distances. Make sure you're doing the long distance. Well, here's the thing, Gator. An electric guitar is going to be a lot more annoying when somebody doesn't know how to play than an acoustic guitar. If you're worried about annoying your parents. Because the acoustic guitar, even when it's played badly, at least it's a relaxing sound. Unless you're like... But an electric guitar, it has to be amplified to play at all. So if you have an electric guitar and you play it without an amp, you can barely hear it. There's almost no sound. It's not really meant to be played without an amp. So an electric guitar is designed to be played all the time with an amplifier. An acoustic guitar is meant to be played without an amplifier. But if you get one with the electrics in it, then you can plug it in and play it like a church. Like my acoustic guitar was expensive. It's all in the wood. I don't have any electronics in my guitar. It's great. It's an amazing sounding guitar. All the videos you have where you hear my acoustic guitar at the start, like the new tutorials I just put out today, those are my acoustic. That's my acoustic guitar with a microphone stuck in front of it, and it's just the natural sound of my guitar. But there's a problem. If somebody at church is like, hey, we need you to lead worship, now I got a problem because I don't have any way to amplify my guitar. So they have to stick a microphone in front of it, and I got to stand still while I play. Or I got to borrow. And what I usually do is I borrow somebody's acoustic guitar that has a plug-in. So, but an acoustic guitar is meant to be played without a plug-in. So anyway, hey, what's up, Lee? Long time no see. All right, well, okay, big tall man. All right. I get it. I was just going to say, don't give up, because pretty quickly you will catch up. I mean, if you've only got 10 hours in game, I mean, after 20 hours, you'll have that loan paid off, because you'll start getting longer and longer trips. They'll start paying $100,000 a trip, and you'll be able to pay that stuff off pretty quick. So, so see, if you have an amp and an acoustic guitar, you also have to worry about feedback. Well, here's the thing. You also have to get a specialized amp for an acoustic guitar. You're not going to plug an acoustic guitar into a regular guitar amp. A guitar amp is for an electric guitar. It's meant to sound good with like a Strat or a Les Paul. It's not meant to sound good with an acoustic guitar. There's no tweeter. It's going to sound real muddy and real bleh. So they actually make acoustic guitar amps. Trying to think of the company that makes them. There's a couple companies that make it. There's one called Acoustic that they're cheap but they sound pretty decent. Yeah, they make specialized amps, or you're going to plug right into the house with it. So you don't want to plug an acoustic guitar into a regular guitar amp, though. That'll sound terrible. So there you go, Gator. Yep. Yes, and then there's good and bad about using the World of Trucks thing. The bad part is that they have to be done that day or within 24 hours in real life. So if you're going to, like, a lot of times I'll start a trip and then come back a week later and finish it. You can't do that with the World of Trucks jobs. But you can, there is no in-game restriction. So you can take, if it takes you 10 days in-game, you could stop every 5 minutes and sleep and still get the job done, because as long as you do it within actual 24 hours, you can get it done. So there's less pressure about having to sleep. You can sleep as much as you want. You don't have to rush. So yes, they have a special amp 44 Magnum. They have acoustic amps. So Big Tall Man's internet sucks. That sucks. 4 electrics and 2 acoustics. I used to have 2. I have 4 electrics, 1 bass and 1 acoustic. I have 6 guitars. Miss Bugs always calls them my stringed children. She's like, you got 6 regular kids and 6 string kids. I was really wrong about my 4 passes here. I'm like on pass number 6 now. Hey, what's going on, Green Cordial? Doing well, my friend. Thank you. Got a lot of work done today. Had breakfast with a friend this morning early, and we had a very productive day today. Also got to play a little bit of World of Warships in the middle of the day. I take a lunch break, and I was running the USS Alabama, and had a couple, in co-op mode, had a couple 150,000 plus games, which is good in co-op. So it'd be like a $300,000 game in the regular game. Man, the Alabama puts out some hurt with if you get the side of a pretty much any cruiser. If you hit them on the side, you got almost a guaranteed citadel. It's really nice. I think it does some serious damage. So yeah, electric drum set would be good. Ryan's thought about doing that. We had a drum set here for a while. They didn't play it much though, so they ended up getting rid of it. But drums are fun. It's hard. Drums are really hard because you have to separate all your arms and legs, and they have to be able to move individually. And sometimes some of those beats are really hard. Like if you're doing like an eighth with your hi-hat, and you're doing a dotted eighth with your foot, it's like, and it's really hard to separate the two of them out. But Schecter Omen 6. I had a Schecter C4 Plus. Yep, that's why I got rid of it too. I don't know. Yeah, it was a great guitar. I had a Schecter C4 Plus. It was absolutely gorgeous. It was like a this is County Line, by the way, Green Cordial. I have not played a double neck guitar. I really want to get a 12-string Lee. No, the electric drum set has a mounting kit, Gator. You can't attach it to a desk. It has to be attached to because you're hitting them, so you'll break a desk. It will not withstand the drum hits. It'll break after a while. You have to. They make a mounting system that it all goes together with. So no, you cannot do that. So no, I have not played a double neck guitar, but maybe I have. I don't remember. But the 12-string I love. I really want to get. I've been playing acoustic 12 strings at all the shops I go to with Ryan. Every time I play one, I'm like, I'm gonna walk out with this. I just don't have the money. So they're about $600 to $800 for a decent one, for a decent 12-string acoustic. So, but the 12-string is exactly the same as playing a 6-string. It just has little octave strings next to the main strings. So the fingerings are all exactly the same. So, yeah, you really you have to be very good at coordinating and uncoordinating your hand and feet so that they play separately. A banjo, oh, it's so different. Banjo's very different than guitar. So, let's see. Well, not yet anyway, Gator. Maybe when you get older and have your own place, you can get drums. Oh, all right. Have fun, Mike. Keep those kids fed. My kids are gone for the day. Yay. Get a break. That's so funny. You can mount the drums to the ceiling. Yeah. Don't give up yet, Gator. There's hope. There's hope out there. But yeah, I would say for for basic guitar knowledge, they make electric guitars and electric guitar amps, and they're meant to match and go together. You can't really play an electric guitar. You could play electric guitar without an amp, but you're the only one that's going to hear it. Nobody else will. But I used to play. I mean, I learned. That's how I learned how to play. I learned how to play. My first 6 weeks or 8 weeks on a guitar was on an electric guitar that. That was a broken electric guitar, but it was a hollow body, so it actually made some resonance, so you could hear it. But so a 12-string is let's see, the bottom set stays the same, or do you go one octave up? Okay, so the way that it works is I call it top. When I'm talking top, I'm talking note wise, like the highest notes. The E string, which is the bottom string, but it's also the highest note, is the exact same tuning. So you have 2 E's. Not octaves. Then you have 2 B's, not octaves. So those first 2 strings are unison. They're both the same note. Then the last 4 strings, or the brass strings, are all octaves. So it goes unison, unison, octave, 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 octave. So that's how a 12-string works. So yeah, so the first 2 strings are unison, which means they're the same note. But then after that, they're all octaves. So it gives it some sparkle when you play those lower. Oh, I love the way it sounds. I had a video on my phone and I lost it. Maybe if I can find it, I'll try to play it for you afterwards. But I recorded myself playing a 12-string at Guitar Center, And man, that thing sounded so good. It was just so beautiful sounding. Anyway. Yes, they make a headphone amp. Yep, that's right, 44 Magnum. You can't, I forgot about that. Duh. And of course, I even have those. You can get, there's an app that you can download to your iPhone, and then there's like $100 connector, but it works, that you can download, and you can plug your headphones into your phone and play and hear the guitar sounds on your phone. It's called Positive Grid Jam Up, and it's a really good product. I love Jam Up. It's a great guitar product. It's the same thing. Like, I don't know if you guys remember my most recent World of Tank intro, that was all done with Jam Up, and it sounds really good. So yeah, they're not as good as a real amp, but Jam Up's not bad, honestly. Yep, Jam Up's available for Android too. It's called, so Jam Up is what it's called. And then you have to get an interface. They run like $50 to $70 for the interface. And you plug your guitar cable into the interface, and then you have that on. You plug your headphones into the other end, and you have the sounds, and it's really cool sounding. I mean, Jam Up sounds like a real amplifier. It's not bad. So it's a good way to practice without anyone else hearing you. Ryan uses it, but now he's got a 100-watt tube amp, so it's a little loud. In fact, if you listen real close to the tutorials I released today, you can hear him playing through my wall. Peanut butter down. Jam up, peanut butter down. All right, there we go. Here we go. Let's get this started here. Boop. So did I ever figure out what was wrong with ETS and the bridges? Well, the issue is I'm using Pro Mods, and Pro Mods changes some of the geometry in the game. So for whatever reason, they've lowered those two bridges in Germany. They're probably intersections that weren't in the game originally, and they've messed it up. So yes, if you have to practice with your neighbors. Also, if you buy one of those pods, Benson, there's a product called the Pod. They have like 10 different models available right now from Line 6. You can also use headphones with those. It's a guitar amp simulator. You plug your guitar into it. It has a bunch of effects on it, and you can do that. But those are expensive, like $200 to $300 used, like $500 or $600 new. So that's right, Gator. But that's a good way to do it. You could use Jam Up on your phone, and you wouldn't bother your parents. And Blue Voodoo amp needs new tubes. That's a great amp, actually. That's the crate, right? So I know, Lee. It is insanely loud. Yep, the Pod is made by a company called Line 6. It's all one word, Line 6. And the Pod is it's basically a whole bunch of guitar amps and effects in cabinets in an effects processing unit. Out of all the ones that I've played, yeah, pizza party. The Pod is the best sounding amp simulator that I've ever played through, and that's what I use at church. So if you look on my channel and you've seen my video called Arthur Plays the Pod, POD, Line 6 HDX 500, you'll see me playing through one of the newer models of that device, and it has all kinds of different sounds on it. You can pretty much go from B.B. King to, Eddie Van Halen. I mean, the thing it goes all over the place. It's got all kinds of different amp models, and it sounds really good. It's pretty convincing. It actually sounds like a real guitar amp. So, and you can plug it into speakers or use headphones or whatever. Oh yeah, the Valtronics. Yeah, Valtronics that's Vox, isn't it? Valtronics. Yes, that's correct. That's how my Vox amp has a gain and a volume knob. You turn the volume up for overall sound, and then the gain up for distortion. I usually run the gain at about maybe 20%. So, yeah, you said that's not your plan, right? Exactly. Acoustic guitar for very little, over 20 years ago. There you go. I don't like the Line 6 amps. Nope. You're right. The Magnum, I would not buy a Line 6 amp. Nope. But for performance and stuff, like for what we do at church, the Line 6 pedals are great. But I don't like... I've played one or two that I like, but yeah, a valve amp is much better if you can get a real valve amp. That's why I have a Vox. I don't have a modeling amp. I have a real amp. So They're not bad, but they're not as good sounding as a real tube amp. And I agree with you totally there, 44 Magnum. So, but at church, it's much easier to just plug something into the board and not have to deal with speakers and trying to mic stuff up. So we just use that because it's easy. Let's see. First job. Oh, Big Tall Man already started the new game. That's so funny, Big Tall Man. It's much easier. Actually, no. I just have a little AC-10. I have the littlest valve amp that Vox makes. And it's a great amp. It sounds just like the AC-30, but it doesn't have the tremolo, the famous Vox tremolo on it, but whatever. But man, that guitar, when I marry that with my Fender Strat, oh man, I play for like 2 or 3 hours. I just get lost because it just sounds so good. Yeah, once you play through tubes, you're hooked. It depends on the Line 6 amp, though, too. They've got better amps, too. There's some really good amps out there that sound good. Hey, we're almost done. Then we need to do the next exciting thing, which is collect bales and sell them. And hopefully make some money, because I have things that I need to buy. I know some of the stuff we leased, but... Oh, that's cool, Gator. I need to get new speakers for my computer. My studio speakers are finally wearing out after like 20 years. They're starting to get woofy. Should get a red special. Not played in years. Is the red special? What is that? Is that the... I'm trying to think of what that is. There's no reason to... That's why I write my own songs. I don't want to ruin anybody else's. Mine are bad enough. I am going to start working on some new theme music for 2017. So when Farming Sim... Or 2019. When Farming Sim 2019 hits, I will be adding some new bumper music to the game. I was actually almost going to do it tonight, but then my friend Tim called and he's like, "Hey, can you come watch me play volleyball?" And I'm like, "All right." Okay, I was going to say, I thought maybe we were talking about the Brian May guitar. I've actually heard that it's horrible to play. That the necks are really... yes, they are green cordial. I have a literal cornucopia of money sitting on those fields right there. Those bales are fermenting. Not really. I just left them there because I had to do this. But I wanted to get all this done before we moved on to the next stage of fertilization, and I missed it. So anyway, that's what we're doing right now. Once we're done doing this, then we're going to start collecting bales. But yeah, we have square bales all over the place. Yes. Okay, you find the neck fine. Okay, I'll have to try one. I've never tried one before. I love his sound, so I think if you guys know, Brian May and his dad... So Brian May is the guitar player from Queen. He definitely... what's the word I'm looking for? He kind of... I mean, people look to Eddie Van Halen as kind of the heavy metaler of the 80s, but... You know, like the Shredder. And there's obviously guys that play faster than him, too, but... Brian May, in my opinion, actually did a lot more pioneering in the style of what they were playing, like the arpeggiates and stuff like that. Like he did a lot of stuff that more modern guitar players like Yngwie Malmsteen took and made a lot faster. But they're doing the same things that he was doing, not necessarily what Eddie Van Halen was doing. Eddie Van Halen was doing like taps and stuff like that. Anyway, I really... Brian May, in my opinion, is one of the best guitar players and one of the most influential guitar players in the rock and roll scene. So, oh, you met him. That's so cool. Let's see. Makes sense. So you know you can stack them in twos. How do you do that? Because they just came out of the... Oh, using the Kuhn thing, you could stack them in twos. That'd be cool. Yeah, that's crazy that Tom Petty died, man. I love Tom Petty. His music is great. 38 Special? Yeah, I love 38 Special. I love Def Leppard. That old Randall amp sound, yep. Actually, they used Randall, they used Marshall, they used a bunch of different stuff, but yeah, I hear you, 44 Magnum. It's so cheesy. I feel so embarrassed, but I listen to Def Leppard all the time. I've got Pyromania and Hysteria are like locked on my cars. Every single USB stick that I have that has music on it has both of those albums on it. I was listening to Def Leppard this morning when I was driving around. I'm such a geek. All right. Oh, Tom Petty's from Gainesville. Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. I always assumed he was from California, but yeah, I like the, you know, I hated the Eagles as a kid, and I love them now as I'm older. I'm like, the Eagles are great. I used to hate them. Very talented. You wrap one and then you put the next wrapped one on top. Like as you wrap it, like you just roll over the top of it, green cordial, and then let it go. That's pretty cool. Not that I really need to do that because I'm using the collection wagon, so it's not a huge deal because that's going to pick them up and put them right anyway. But, yeah, Tom Petty was pretty awesome. I love his music. We're actually, ironically, so my friend this morning, he told me, he's like, the guy I had breakfast with this morning, he's like, yeah, somebody called me. This is so funny. And he's talking to Tom Petty, and they're looking for a guitar player, and they want this is a local Tom Petty tribute band. I was like, dude, I'll do it. But I just don't have time. 35 apiece. Oh, yeah. Pyromania is my favorite album. Probably one of my all-time favorite. The Normals, A Place Where You Belong, and Pyromania. Those are like my two favorite albums. I do use an autoloader trailer. I'm using an autoloader trailer on this map. Not a mechanical one. I don't use the ones where the bales just pop onto the wagon when you drive by, because they're not real. I'd rather make it realistic here. Wait. Oh. That's it. I must be out. So this is fairly full. We'll need to get more fertilizer next time, but and so that we got about 6 minutes left on this episode, so what's up, Steve-O's? You said moo moo bah. Steve-O has joined the farm sim. We'll clean this guy up and put it away. Actually, it's not too dirty. I think I'll probably just leave it for now. It's not bad. Oh, on vinyl. Oh, I don't have a record player anymore. I'd love to have that album on vinyl. It probably sounds unbelievable. It is funny how different vinyl sounds, like on a good stereo, like what a difference vinyl can make. It really does sound better. It's unbelievable sounding. Let's see here. Better do it soon, Jimmy Buffett. That's so funny. I'm not a huge Jimmy Buffett fan. I could see. I probably would like to go to Alabama. That'd be fun to see an Alabama concert. 4 pins of milk. 4 pins of milk. 44 bales. Yeah. I mean, it is tempting. Tempting, but I don't do it. I'd rather make it a little more realistic. I'm a glutton for punishment, I guess. All right, so pints, 4 pints of milk. We get them in gallons. All right, I need to find. Hang on, what is that noise? Okay, tractor's off. I told you, Redneck, cassettes suck. That's like the worst media. Sorry. I don't think there's any cassette fans out there because there's no such thing. Cassettes are crap. We're going to go this way. I'm going to fill this up and get the rest of the fertilizer out of the shop, and then we'll start collecting bales. It does lose base, right? You lose base when you get away from vinyl. When you start getting into digital, it loses base. The vinyl sounds a lot more crisp and pure. I totally agree. Even the recordings I've made from my vinyl stuff sound better. It has so much more body to it. So sad panda. Cassettes for your account. 45-minute load times. I'm gonna load this game. I'll be back and get some coffee. Be back. How much does that grass field rake in? I don't know. I haven't collected yet. I've already gotten about 50,000 off of it from one trailer load, but I think there's like 250 bales. So it should be quite a bit of money. There's 2 grass fields that I've done, so there's a lot. Sometimes JC Breezy hates work. Like, they should know Arthur streaming FS, and you have to watch. Like, guys, I'm busy right now watching Arthur stream. Leave me alone. That's right. That's right. Though I do like subwoofers. I would like to have a subwoofer in my car again. I miss it. So you don't want to experience cassettes, IROC. Yeah, get one cassette and listen to it and then be done and go back to whatever other medium because it's all better. So you wouldn't mind having a tape deck? Well, yeah, that's if you have tapes and that's the only way that you can get the music, then that's what it is. But the records are so much better. The joy of Betamax. Or 8-track, right. Yep. Yeah, Tom Petty was awesome. You said, okay, settle down with the bales. In real life, if I could sell that many bales, I'd take a break and spend a year doing just YouTube. What's up, Howison? Or YouTube and Twitch. So your dad had a 91 S10 Blazer. He had 232 speakers in the back. 32, you mean 12-inch? 212s? Right, exactly. There's no reason to lower the quality when you can have better. Exactly. The reel-to-reel, that's good tape right there. I haven't played it in ages either, man. It's Callan Crops looks awesome, though. I probably should play it. Bugs was playing it a little bit, but I haven't done it. I should do it. Autograph Survivor album. That's awesome. Wait a minute. Isn't your uncle or so one of the guys that's on my channel is a relative to the bass player from that band? Tapes in your younger day, yeah, they're just awful. Yeah, me too. I mean, cassettes were. I mean, I'm a Walkman era kid. The Sony Walkman is what we played. You know. I walked to school every morning and listened to. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious, Gator. I used to walk to school listening to a Sony Walkman. So. Yeah, I mean that was the. I'm a Walkman kid too. I'm a cassette tape guy. But when CDs came out, they were just so much better. Will not make your car fest with subwoofer. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for being a part of my channel. Hope you guys enjoyed the final fertilization episode. Next up, we're going to be doing bales. We'll see you next time. Thumbs up always help. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you again. Those of you on Twitch, we're still continuing.